Chapter 114 Necromancy Lesson. Breath after breath, the exposed humerus slid back under the skin, and in its place, soon Lid's body was back to normal. Rodimas barely reacted to his voice. Seeing her comrades die, being helpless while Melia was tortured, all of it had been a terrible experience. But seeing Ragul's metamorphosis, smelling his stench of death and decay, had been too much. She hadn't bit her tongue only because of the gag, but had screamed the whole time nonetheless. She knew that after Lid's death it would be her turn to be eaten alive. Her eyes only showed the white. The pupil rolled almost backwards. She had dislocated both her shoulders trying to break free from the restraints. Sweat, tears, and mucus dirtied her face, making her hair stick to it like a filthy mask. The terror had completely broken her. Lid had to splash Rodimas with cold water to force her to regain her focus. Her voice was hoarse from the strain, but still clear. She explained how the request hadn't come through the official channels of the mercenary guild, but via one of their contacts in the black market of the city of Candria. According to the books in Soluspedia, it was simply a market town, the nearest trading hub to the academy. The contractor was a merchant, but the odd request coupled with the high reward had made the mercenaries suspicious. After taking a considerable down payment, they had investigated the matter, discovering that the merchant was just a middleman. According to their source, he served the powerful and noble Andros family, famous for its centuries of old magical legacy. At that point, they only had two choices: return the money and back off from the job, or get involved in the political struggle. Sobbing, Rodimas told how she had voted for the former option, but had been outnumbered, because the pay was too good and the risk seemed minimal at the time. Lid didn't know what to do. Her story would have been much more significant if he could do anything about it. The odd thing was that since he had created his own version of the Frankenstein's monster, the feeling of impending failure had disappeared. "That's not all," Rodimas managed to say after some stuttering. "Since we managed to get in and out of the forest many times after complimenting with us, our contractor gave us another task. We were supposed to deliver a package tomorrow." "The time frame is way off. I had more than a day to catch up with them, so why the need to rush? Still, the vision showed me that the academy is some way related to this. Whatever this thing is, it could be useful to change the course of the events. It's in my dimensional amulet." Lid took out all the amulets looted, allowing Rodimas to recognize his own and take out the package. Since magical items just needed a thought to work, he didn't free her hands. Just place it on her forehead while setting up several protection with spirit magic, just to be on the safe side. Rodimas kept her word, materializing a wooden box the size of a briefcase. It had no particular markings or insignia. The only remarkable thing about it was the lock. It was placed along the narrow and long side of the box, and it consisted of an octahedron-shaped stone, with several runes engraved all around it, forming a spiral. Using invigoration, Lid was capable of examining it It's pseudocore, nothing I have ever seen before. I bet everything I do not have that without a proper code it will self-destruct, explode or something. And if I really want to discover what's inside, I have only one shot. I suppose you don't know how to open it. No, I don't. Please don't hurt me. Realizing to have outlived her usefulness, Rodimas cried in desperation, knowing it was useless to beg for mercy. A deal is a deal. Lee double-tapped her head and heart with bullet-sized icicles, making sure she wouldn't suffer. He was about to leave when a thumping sound made him turn around, ready for combat, despite his mental exhaustion. To his surprise, it was just the young beak again. You do really have a talent for escape. How those hunters managed to corner you is a mystery to me, Liz said with an angry tone. Both times he had needed help, the beak had disappeared, leaving him in hot waters. In Lid's eyes, that made him person non grata. Dude, that's harsh. After you rescued me, I was scared. Besides, you didn't seem to need any help. This time, I didn't run away. I went for help. You have no idea how long it took to reach my mom. Your mom? Yeah, according to your definition, she is my best friend. And I wouldn't have delayed my departure for a mere human. If not for the fact that you have saved my cub and was so stupid to lose control of your own necromancy spell. Hence, as a part of your reward, I'll teach you how to not endanger yourself and others with dark magic. The beak's mother was an enormous beast, at least 1.8 meters tall at the shoulder, with a weight close to a ton. Its fur was deep brown with shades of black all over. Lid was about to defend himself, explaining that it wasn't a spell as much as an experiment, when he realized what had happened. Delay the departure? So that's why I needed to make haste? All that's happened was just a step to speak with the beak? The big mother moved closer, sniffing at him with curiosity. You look like a human, but there's something different from others I have met so far. What's your name, cub? Scourge. Lee deemed wiser using the name bestowed upon him by the Thronwood's kings. If the big mother knew humans, he had to protect his identity. Strong name for someone so young, it snorted. A big name even. That's a good omen. I'm Kala. And that's my youngest one, Nock. Lid gave both a polite nod. Listen well, cub. There is a reason if light and darkness magic are so scarce in nature. And that is because they are the strongest elements. Light nurtures life. According to legends, can even resurrect the dead or create new things. Darkness instead is the element of death. It's not evil by itself. It's just that all living beings are scared of death, so they fear it. And fear can easily turn in spite and prejudice. Lid scoffed inwardly at those words. I have yet to meet someone, human or not, that doesn't consider the element they are at best as the strongest. As for light magic, is a great tool, but powerful is not a word I'd use to describe it. Convenient at best. Whatever. Solu's mind rolled her eyes. Why don't you stay quiet and listen? When are we going to find again someone teaching us real magic? Kala stared at him for a second, sensing his disbelief. Tell me, Scourge, how many magical beasts have you met that used light magic? None, he was forced to admit. And how many capable of darkness magic? Just one. It was a few years ago. 0 and 1. While there are countless beasts that use the other elements. Have you ever wondered why? Let me show you an old big trick. Kala tapped the ground twice with her left pawn claws, dark energy swirling around her massive body. Arise.